Shout out to your magical moon message. This is the peace dealer. The moon is in Taurus. It is next to the North Node in Jupiter. It's gone over the King of the Gods. And you are in a ticking time clock during this balsamic phase. We're going to have a late new moon. Shout out to Oyi. I don't know if you're going to watch this, but that's a real one's birthday. Taurus King right there. If you know Oyi or Coach Kair. Yeah, although his new name's Oyu. But other than that, shout out to the Tauruses. Shout out to all the Tauruses that had their solar return. Yeah, the new moon we're going to have is going to be at the end, final degrees. You know what? I think it's going to be on my rising. This could be like my debut or something. Anyway, I don't care. This Jupiter transit is getting ready to evolve your worth. So the work that you did to plant the seeds and harvest your value, which isn't just the Taurus season, because relative to Scorpio season, it's completing that. And then if you go back to 2000, so if you go back to November, if you go back to November 2022, we're completing that 6 months. And then if you go back to 2018, when Jupiter was in Scorpio, remember 2018? You know what I'm saying? Like the 2020, the 2010s kicked off. We had 2012, the best conspiracy theories came through, Jupiter, Gemini. We didn't know how fucked we were. You know what I'm saying? We were still just kind of free. A lot of artists came through. And then 2018 was that crucial year before we knew shit was going to hit the fan. Our dumbasses, we thought shit was going to get better. You know what I'm saying? Oh, how stupid we were. Anyway, 2018, we're completing that. So go back to 2018 because Jupiter's in Scorpio and everything that you basically activated there was a completion of 2011. 2018 was a completion of 2011. And 2022 is a completion of this 2018, the 6-year cycle. Every time Jupiter reaches the opposite, is completing that. It's the opposition. So a lot of the wisdom that we expanded is now gaining grounding. Okay, and we're gonna do it again 6 years from now. There's so many sorts of cycles. Pause, because I'm going to show for all my Virgos watching, or for anyone who, you know what I'm saying, Earth-centric, I got some pornography for you. Yes. For those of you who want to hit on Virgos, you know what I'm saying? It's the little things. Watch. You like that? Yeah. Yeah. Chat. Ashy lips be gone. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right, quarantine over. Anyway, this is going to be mighty solid. It's a lot of grounded energy. I feel like Tauruses might feel like Floridians or Texans just watching mad people run away from their bum ass cities and just move there because their town is the best. And Taurus is like that. It's the promised land right now. How have you built your promised land? Because the Taurus, it's significant that we had a whole Taurus season and then the King of the Gods is entering Taurus. If you want to see this as like preparation being done before the headliner shows up, and now Gemini gives you an idea of the value of that, right? We have completed this transit, and now everything that you have prepared relative to the work you've put in and effort you've put in to really sow this sense of your quality, Jupiter is leveling up. It's evolving. It's strengthening the quality of. It's adding to your richness and it's adding to your value. Now, this is the first Jupiter-Uranus in Taurus transit we've had since I can't really tell you. Probably a long time. So, you're finna come up. Despite the unconventional changes and shifts in how we're going to spend currency, which we may see begin to roll out, but I don't really care about. What really matters is the metaphysical, extra-dimensional, supernatural quality of your ability to harness energy and convert the energy your body can produce into anything. All sorts of value. Of course, everyone's different depending on what kind of jutsu and bending techniques you have. But let's not take this into the sci-fi, or let's not take this into fantasy, even though this is real life. Let's just take this in its most basic level. Your confidence and self-esteeming yourself. Okay, it's getting ready to level up. And this is where, if you sowed the seeds of this stupid sense of lack of confidence in yourself, where you're looking outside of yourself, which everything outside of yourself is pretty much an illusion. But if you're looking outside of yourself and you're taking in this feedback to convince yourself that, oh, I'm comparing my life to other people and my life isn't as good as theirs, that's your choice. If that's what you laid the seeds of your foundation on, Jupiter is going to expand that. You're going to see more of that. If you realize that you have value and worth, and that you still build, remember, the whole point of much of these religious practices, and some of you need to read the Bible without the religious lens, right? So like when most people read the Bible, they think of this pastor in their head that's and you're trying to read it in a religious way. Forget all of that. If you were to read the Bible, like if you like manga, if you like Japanese manga, you will love the Bible. If you don't read it like some religious book and just like a manga, it's fire. Okay, the first Samuel to the second Samuel, first Kings, second Kings, that whole run, fire. Up to like Daniel, fire. And if you want New Testament, Acts, fire. When motherfuckers start catching a spirit and speaking tongues and healing people with their shadow, fire. Okay, but this isn't an advertisement to read the Bible. I'm just saying, just like other texts, the Quran is fire, like all these texts, right? We're out of this age of Pisces where idiots are arguing about philosophy when it's not about your beliefs, it's about the truth. And that's what this age of knowledge is going to dispel. Anyway, yes. The real purpose of all these teachings is to remind you that your treasures are in heaven. You're tricked to get stuff that does not last forever. We desire things that you cannot see that last forever. This world will call you stupid for that. It's like, ew, like that doesn't even exist. You better go get some money, fool. You better go get some chains. And I mean, if you want to fucking chain yourself up to a false economic system with banks that are finna collapse, go do that, dumbass. I'm here forever, so I'm going to take my time. And this is where the work, the intangible qualities, the work, the techniques, the nature of everything that you have put in to actually build this, it's producing itself. By their fruit ye shall know them. Well, the fruit's barren, okay? And if you take the past 12 years since 2011 and everything that you have produced, we're getting ready to re-up on another cycle, courtesy of the nodes. So because this is a balsamic phase in the dead of the night, this isn't so much meant to be a test, but 12 house transits like this test your faith, or really trigger faith, because in the shadow of the light before the new moon plants new seeds, we're clearing the field. And this isn't like last month where we had the new moon at the end of Aries and the moon going into Taurus was after the sun. Now the moon is before the sun. So you're catching up to speed as the moon goes over Mercury direct to really align with your brain's processing ability, the natural value of your worth. And what that looks like is how much of you are still accepting less than what you're worth. Neville Goddard has an amazing story about a couple who was like, you know what, we're going to buy that building for no money. Yeah, I'm going to rent stuff out from that building, but I'm not paying for that shit. And so someone walked up to them with an offer like, hey, like, we'll offer this to you for like, this price. And they're like, nah, we're good. And then they came back and then they were like, hey, we'll offer it to you for like half the price. And they're like, nah, because they're like, nah, I already saw, I'm not paying anything for that. And then eventually, dude came back like, hey, I'll pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Do you still want the building? They're like, yeah. And a lot of people are scared. You know what I'm saying? Well, what if this? What if that? What if that? When you know your worth, You don't compromise on your value. When you know your value, you don't give your power away. So you're not like, okay, well, that person might leave if I don't do this. So because I want them, blah 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 blah. You better remember your fucking worth. Taurus teaches you to stand on your values, because if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for everything, right? So what is it that you know you're worth? What is it that you want? The stubborn quality of Taurus makes it so you don't compromise on that, right? And that's the type of stuff you're tested on. When you know what it is you deserve and want, how willing are you to accept anything less than that? Because you shouldn't be willing to at all. And these are the things that may come back post Mercury retrograde, going through the shadow, behavior from people in your past, exes, offers that are 99.99% what you want. Would you take that? I'm gonna be honest, a lot of you would. And I'm just gonna say you deserve 100%. I don't know if you don't know that. If you're taking that 99.9% because you feel, well, I'll probably never find 100, you're playing yourself. And that 0.1% does make all the difference. So, don't let the illusion of feeling like there's this battle of attrition where like you have to wait. You're not waiting for anything. You're tapping into manifestation mastery here. So the transcendence and release of old understandings of what you're worth are now coming into this new moon at the end of this moon and Taurus transit. And that's going to activate this new cycle of growth relative to Jupiter in Taurus before we experience it in Gemini. You start learning all sorts of magic spells that you go perfect in Virgo. And then you're going to show people in Sag, like, look at what I can do. You know, Sagittarius are just fucking show-offs. And then Pisces, you'll come into a new belief. Who knows what the fuck they do? Anyway, other than that, the moon is sextiling Saturn. So this is going to anchor a natural understanding of the integrity of your beliefs. Unlike when the moon was in Capricorn and we were coming into an understanding of utilizing these beliefs in its completion, this is opening the door relative to the Saturn conjunction that reestablished this new conjunction cycle of how your beliefs are progressing. And the natural quality here, what I love about Taurus is Taurus doesn't have to say anything. Their work speaks for itself. The body speaks for itself. So like Taurus, people forget that Taurus is basically an Earth Scorpio. Scorpio psychoanalyzes your psychology. Well, Taurus does the same thing. They just read your body language. They're one of the best at NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. Don't sleep on Taurus and NLP because Taurus likes to play dumb. Yeah, they're slow, but they like to play dumb. They're actually a lot smarter than, anyone will give them credit for. And people be sleeping on them. I get it. But yeah. So there are indicators that will highlight the psychoanalysis of people's projections. In other words, you don't have to argue with someone who's projecting their insecurity at you, because wisdom will tell you if they were secure in themselves and they weren't such a WLB, a weak little bitch, then they wouldn't even be projecting insecurities. So you don't even have to lower yourself to do that. Just by analyzing that, does that make sense? So discernment will go a long way so that you don't do or respond to more than you have to. You don't want to respond to stuff that's not even you. And this is also getting ready in this completion of the transit and establishment of this new moon to activate this instant manifestation and ability once and for all. And the quality of Uranus with the conjunction is going to shock you, especially with the sextile to Neptune that will draw forth real understanding of the metaphysical qualities of the supernatural nature of your own ability to manifest and whatnot. Now, listen even less to these dumbass fake science motherfuckers who don't even know their moon sign, because they're going to hit you with misleading postulation and inconclusive peer-reviewed research, because your exploration into the depths of your soul intimidates all of the fake bullshit they've brainwashed you in school and they have convinced themselves through denial is real. All that shit is postulates. It's all theorized. You're not a theory. You are a soul. Science is still catching up to that, if it ever will. So enjoy this, because this is going to full card launch you off into a new adventure before we enter Gemini land. Shout out to the Geminis. Godspeed. Peace.